funny grade. It's a family
Welcome to the Carson City School District Board meeting. I will call this meeting to order. Let me begin by excusing Trustee Mike Walker. He is hosting the Lyon County School Board meeting at his school out in Lyon County tonight, and also excusing Trustee Jose Ramirez. She is away on a family medical matter. Agenda item 1 is adoption of the agenda as submitted for possible action. And motion by Trustee Casiopo and second by Trustee Walt. Have any further discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. We will go to agenda item 2, which is flag salute, and Trustee Casiopo, will you lead us now? And the flag is behind you.
flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda item 3 is the superintendent's report for information only. Mr. Fueling.
Thank you, President Crossman. Welcome everyone to the most exciting board meeting of the year. Very much looking forward to the recognitions. That is all. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Fueling. We'll move on to agenda item 4, board reports and board member comments for information only. Do we have a representative from Carson High School here tonight? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to Pioneer Academy. I see Faith Key is here, so she'll give us a report for Pioneer.
Good evening, I am Faith Key, and I am representing Pioneer Academy. So number 1, we have Ollie Hill and Ashley Ellis won 2nd and 3rd place in the Mark Twain Days writing contest and shared in the festival on April 21st. Number 2, Pioneer Academy will have a Spring Spirit Week, May 1st through 5th. Monday is Decade Days, Tuesday is Scholarly Scientific Day, Wednesday is Hawaiian Tiki Tourist, Thursday is Star Wars Day, and Friday is Derby Day. Number 3 is our Totally Tiki Prom will be on May 6th with dancing, a luau theme, and a barbecue. And then number 4 is the Positive Vibes program continues to gain in numbers. Each week, staff note students who have gone above and beyond and increased the positive vibe at Pioneer Academy or in the community for the week. To date, we have celebrated 241 positive actions. Congratulations to our certified and classified staff of the year, Carrie Jordan and Lene Mitchell. And then number 6 is congratulations to Faith Key, me, for being Pioneer Student of the Month. And that concludes the Pioneer announcements.
Congratulations, Faith, and thank you for your report. You are so reliable. We'll move on to Nevada Association of School Boards update. Do we have anything from Trustee Varner?
No, just a reminder of the training this weekend in Fallon. It starts at 9 a.m. in the morning, and it's we held at 690 South Main Street, which is the Carson City School District office.
Churchill County.
I'm sorry, Churchill County. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. And we'll go ahead and move on to agenda item 5. Oh, board member. Sorry, I'm just jumping ahead on that. Trustee Varner, or who's? Oh, yep, that's Mr. Fueling, just checking down the road. Do you have a board report for tonight?
In the interest of time and getting to our main event tonight, I'm going to pass on my board report.
Okay. Trustee Walt?
As will I. Thank you.
Me too.
Trustee Clapham and Trustee?
Me too.
And me as well. So thank you. Thank you all for visiting your schools, and we will move on to agenda item 5, association reports for discussion only. Do we have any association reports? Okay, I did see an arm up there, but I don't think they were actually waving to me. So I will move on to agenda item 6, approval of the consent agenda for possible action.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Waltz, second by trustee Casiopo. Do we have any board discussion? Any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and the motion carries. We'll move on to agenda item 7, informational items for discussion only. No action will be taken. Do we have any comments or questions on our informational items? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and move on to agenda item 8, the main attraction, which is recognition of the 2023 Carson City School District Educational Support Professionals of the Year, Certified Educators of the Year, and Administrator of the Year for discussion only. And this agenda item will be presented by Mr. Dan Davis and Superintendent Andrew Fueling. Take it away.
Well, thank you, President Crossman. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Carson High School. Tonight is probably the best night of the year. We get to celebrate all of our amazing employees and educators. These are some of the district's most dedicated and diligent individuals. So it certainly is cause for celebration. Let me turn this slideshow on. Here we go. So, for those who don't know me, my name is Dan Davis. You've probably gotten an email or two from me. I try and stay behind the scenes, try and stay behind the cameras. I try and make our teachers and employees the primary subject, our students the primary subject of all the good news that we have to share. I'm the public information officer with the school district, so I get to tell all the great stories, and when there's crisis, I have to report on that as well. But that's what I love about our district is we mostly have great news to share. With me this evening, let me go back, I turned the page too early. We've got Miss Loretta Marson as well as Mindy Schumacher. They will be assisting me with presenting the plaques for the Education Support Professionals and Educators of the Year. And then, of course, President Crossman will help me with the final presentations, the overall ESP and Educator of the Year awards at the end. Congratulations to everybody. Certainly you're winners in your own right from your individual school site. I want you to feel confident that by no means, if you're not selected as the overall winner, that takes away from anything that you've accomplished at your individual school site. It certainly is a cause to celebrate. Thanks to all for supporting these amazing employees and teachers. Your presence here is not only indicative of your service and care for our students, but also your fellow peers. Additionally, I'd like to thank the custodial staff for setting up chairs and tables for this event, as well as ensuring the overall appearance and cleanliness of our schools. And then I'd like to thank Mr. Don Steedham and Jeff Bowers. They are the project managers for Innovative Communication Systems, and they have graciously provided all audio-visual sound systems for tonight's event. They've done it for more than a decade, so thank you, gentlemen. Finally, I'd like to, I know she hates this, I'd like to recognize Miss Renee Cortez. Her, as well as the assistants of the Human Resources Department, Ariel Hines, Mr. Sadler, they've all kind of done the underworkings, and really I've been able to step in and have all the fun with everything. So they are the working minds behind this event. There's a lot put in behind the scenes, and I just want to recognize both of those individuals and everybody that does the work behind the scenes. So thank you. So recognitions tonight will be awarded alphabetically by site, beginning with the high schools, then the middle schools, and then we'll move on to the elementary schools. Similar to years past, administrators from each site will not introduce their winners. Administrators should have had recognition events at their individual schools or departments previously or even following this event. And I just want to express with those folks that any sort of verbal recognition is important. Any time you have an opportunity to recognize somebody for what they're doing, it means so much to them to hear from their superiors, to hear kind words spoken about yourself really buoys us all up. And that positive feedback is more than appreciated because it really energizes us to do better work. So those events should have taken place separately. But for tonight, I will introduce each individual winner. Following my brief introduction, I would encourage each winner to make their way to the podium and offer any words of appreciation or thanks as they best see fit for the good of all those present. Also, it's important to note that much of what is said and talked about this evening comes from the content of individual letters submitted as part of the nomination process. These are usually letters submitted by the individual award winner, their principal, vice principal, or co-workers and associates. Other information is also gathered during the interview process as the judging panel visits with, asks questions, and gets to know each employee and educator. So that kind of gives you a little bit of background. At the conclusion of introductions and short words by each winner, the final awards will be offered. I'll invite the school board president, President Crossman, to introduce the winners for the following awards. We'll have first the Administrator of the Year, then the Employee of the Year, and following that will be the Educator of the Year. So, moving on, I would be remiss if I did not mention a recent highlight to our school district on a statewide level. And I don't know if she's present or not, but the Nevada State Education Association honored Miss Carrie Finn. She's a clinical aide and nurse at Pioneer Academy. She was recognized as Nevada's statewide ESP Employee of the Year. The honor was bestowed in a surprise announcement from Dawn Echeverry, president of NSEA, during the April 11th school board meeting at the community center. I don't know if anyone watched that or were present, but she was totally shocked. She was really kind of geared up to talk about something else. So it was a great surprise for her. The recognition the recognition came for Finn's outstanding work as ESP in Carson City, as well as within the Carson Education Support Association and NSEA. As Nevada's ESP of the Year, Ms. Finn will serve as an ambassador advocating for the needs of students, families, and fellow educators across the state. She will also represent Nevada at the national level as Nevada's nominee. So congratulations to Ms. Finn. We know you'll represent our district and our state brilliantly. So just wanted to get that out of the way. Now I also want to point out that that's the ultimate goal or ultimate outcome of tonight's program or tonight's ceremonies. Each of the overall winners for ESP and Educator of the Year will go on to represent our district on a state level among the other 17 school districts in Nevada. So tonight's announcements are surely not the end of each of these winners' impact. So now without further ado, Carson High School. Leticia. Leticia has worked for the Carson City School District for more than 24 years. She has been a Hispanic parent liaison district-wide, an ESL paraprofessional at Mark Twain Elementary School, assistant ESL coordinator with Dr. Laura Austin, and migrant parent home advocate with Nancy Varner and Peggy Sweetland at Empire Elementary School. In 2006, she founded the Latino Parent Committee, and she has served as a Hispanic outreach coordinator and community-based instructor for the University of Nevada, Reno. I can easily say that she's been serving Carson City community with passion for more than 30 years. The thing that really stood out during her interview was she said, "My job is to empower parents so they can empower themselves." Sometimes as a parent, all it takes is a little self-confidence, and Leticia has been just that spark for so many families within our critical population here in Carson City. Congratulations, Leticia.
I just feel lucky that I've worked with many administrators in Carson City School District and mostly every school. I want to do this? Sure. Can I do this? Absolutely. I would like to do this. Oh yeah, what do you need? So I've had the privilege to work with a lot of administrators in the Carson City School District, and I feel their support. I want to thank my family, of course, my husband, my daughter, my children who were here. They're, from Carson High. They graduated here, and I feel like this is my home. I live here. Bob Chambers knows that. He says it's time to go home, and so I have to go back to work after this because we have a game going on out here. So I just feel lucky that I have an awesome family at Carson School District, the entire district. So thank you.
Lieutenant Commander Dan Meyer. Commander Meyer served 15 years enlisted in the United States Navy. He later served 15 years as an officer. Upon honorable discharge, he has been a teacher for nearly 20 years, with the last 9 years teaching NJROTC at Carson High. Fun fact, Commander Meyer was a contestant on the Wheel of Fortune. He has also appeared as an extra in a Japanese movie, which he delightfully shared the short 10-second clip with all of us during our visit in the interview. More seriously, I like the way Mr. Billings summarizes things in his letter as he described Commander Meyer as a natural and gifted instructor. He not only teaches students about the military, but he also prepares them to become effective leaders within the program. He uses real-world examples of serving in the Navy to instruct and inspire, and his caring nature has resulted in a great respect from his cadets. Commander Meyer is a pillar of integrity in all interactions with students, families, colleagues, and the community. He truly is a man of honor. Commander Meyer.
Thank you. I didn't know I looked that good. Yeah, a little light on the hair, but thanks for putting that up. This is such a great honor. I can't take all the credit because I saw some cadets up there. There they are. Yeah. They're the ones that make our program, and I appreciate every one of them. They give 100%. And the senior chief, we just lost Chief Ingram. Unfortunately, he had to move to Florida, but I'm with a good group, students and teachers. This is my 4th school district, and I tell everyone it's not because I can't keep a job. There's been reasons why I moved, and I've been here at Carson for 9 years, and I can tell you this is the best high school, the best district, the best school board. The school welcomes us, the administrators, our principal Bob. I appreciate everything they do. And then just lastly, there's so many great teachers. I think any teacher in our high school should be up here saying thank you. But I was fortunate, and I so truly appreciate it. And I'm so humbled, and so thank you for all that.
We're going to move on to Pioneer High School, and we've got Lene Mitchell. Lene has been with the district since 2017 and worked at Seeliger Elementary before settling in at Pioneer Academy. She's also subbed as a kinder aide and served as an office specialist for several other school sites in the district. Her background is early child development, so working in a high school has been a different but exciting challenge for her. Lene is regularly the brilliant ray of sunshine as she greets students, parents, and employees with a smile on her face. Her welcoming manner instills a sense of belonging, which encourages students and helps them feel safe and full of purpose. Her work as the frontline face of Pioneer has helped communicate to staff, students, and visitors how the school conducts business as a caring culture and environment. In Mr. Zona's words, Lene has the utmost care and professionalism and the highest work ethic. She is always dependable and is one of those rare team members who needs to be told to go home at the end of the day. While we visited during her interview, I asked her how she overcomes challenges in her position, and she said, I feel like there are always things to catch up on, but with a positive attitude, things always seem to get done. Congratulations, Lene, the time's yours.
Thank you. I don't really feel different. It's too bad the title can't make me feel like I am caught up, but I don't think I could be here without my employer. So everyone from district to my site at Pioneer, everyone is just fantastic to work with, and I love the things that I'm learning every day about myself and my abilities and the people that I work with and the students, and this has been such a great thing to work with a bunch of teenagers, and I'm really grateful for my site and for my coworkers and peers, and it could have been any one of them. I wonder if you just rolled the dice, but I'm really grateful to work here in the district. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Jordan. Carrie Jordan has worked as a school counselor at Pioneer Academy for 9 years, but he did clarify that throughout his entire life, whether it was him with family members who were teachers or him being a teacher himself, there have only been 5 years of his life when he's not been inside a classroom. I think that's pretty remarkable. He has served on a number of committees, provides a leadership role in many capacities, created several of the school's yearbooks, and taught media and journalism classes. Principal Zona emphasized that Carrie's been instrumental in the school-wide initiative of becoming a project-based and hands-on learning environment. Additionally, Mr. Jordan developed a website which allowed students to make appointments for academic counseling. He also developed a graduation cohort tracker which allowed him to track credits for all students. His tracking system was later adapted by other administrators and leaders in the district. In describing his philosophy on education, he said, and I like this, I do what I can to give students hope. When you give them hope, they can succeed and excel. I also like that he said, a kid can have a bad day. I had to train myself to create a reset button. Mr. Jordan approaches each day as a brand new one, which helps him observe his students with fresh eyes and more compassion. Thank you, Mr. Jordan, for all the caring and resetting of buttons that you do. The time is yours.
Wow. This is a huge honor. There's so many great people out there. Yeah, it's pretty impressive with the quality of people that we work with. Normally I have a lot to say. I'm going to keep it short. Kind of a professional talker. So just want to thank all the people that I work with because there's so many great people. The quality is outstanding. Ultimately, we can't do it without you guys and the support and obviously the kids. And my hands are applauding all the parents, the students, the faculty, staff, administration that helps support and lets us do what we do. And the last thing I'll say is, you kind of stole my thunder, keep doing the hard work to give our students hope.
Carrie's great. He sends me stuff for Student of the Month, and I just push it out, and some would get credit for it, but the credit is definitely due to him. So, Carson Middle School, we've got Beverly Heath. Beverly has 6 children and 8 grandchildren. And the thing she has appreciated the most about working for our school district is it has allowed her to spend as much time as possible with her family.
Thank you.
She's been working and serving our students for nearly a half-century. Together with the support from her colleagues in the kitchen, they serve close to 900 meals to every student every day. That's a feat in and of itself. Not only does she ensure every student has enough to eat, she also encourages them to try different foods that are being offered. According to Principal Robinson, Beverly is always willing and eager to help where she sees a need. She takes initiative and makes it her #1 priority to make sure every student has the nutrition they need to be great learners. Most notably, Beverly pays attention to the students as they go through the lines each day. On more than one occasion, she has noticed students who speak another language. To try and help them feel more comfortable, she has taken to learning their language and speaking to them in their native tongue. In her words, Bev said, "I do what I do at Carson Middle School cafeteria because even if I make an impact in one student's life, that is an award to me." We're beyond lucky to have Beverly at Carson Middle. Bev, the time is yours. Congratulations.
I just want to say thank you to Amy and all the folks that voted me in, especially to my family. I want to tell you guys thank you too, and my kitchen crew. I could not do what I do if I didn't have the staff that I have in my kitchen. So thank you.
Gail. Is she here? I don't see her. Is she here today? Oh, okay. Just want to make sure. Ms. Hewitt has been a teacher at Carson Middle School for the past 28 years and has been an incredible asset to the students, staff, and community members there. She has a true passion for physical activity and the role it plays in students' development. Her classes are always engaging, and she is always finding new and creative ways to teach her curriculum. Principal Robinson said Gail not only teaches skills related to physical education, but she also teaches students the importance of being good humans who know how to work together and solve problems in a healthy and constructive way. In discussing professional growth, Ms. Hewitt said, "A good teacher is a good thief. You steal all the good ideas from others." I agree with that perspective. Sometimes that's the best flattery, is when you pull from each other. She also said the best way to improve our present education system is to slow down, read the room, if you will. We need to look at our classes and assess what needs they have or they may have. Above all, the most significant thing that stood out to me in our conversation as we visited with her, she said, all of it is learning time. Whether you're standing in line for lunch, in the classroom, or at PE, if someone drops a pencil, take time to teach and learn while you're in the moment. I'm sure we can all relate, and I can imagine some of our best lessons are those that were taught or planned, that weren't planned, but were opportunities for instruction or teaching moments. Ms. Hewitt.
Thank you. Like everyone else here, I want to just thank everyone I've worked with in my career here. I got hired for a one-year assignment 28 years ago, and here I have stayed, and I've worked with so many of you in this room, and I've taken away so much from all of you to make me a better teacher. I will say it's kind of bittersweet because it's my last year, and the connections I made with those students are something that I will hold dear for the rest of my life. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So my son had Miss Hewitt for PE, and he used to always comment to me. She always makes comments about my T-shirts, and I just kind of had to laugh because some of them are pretty like out there, like taco something, whatever. But she makes good humor of it. So Eagle Valley, Robert Lagan. Okay. Sounds like he wasn't able to make it. But I will point out this is the third time this employee has been recognized as Employee of the Year, and I think that speaks volumes. Robert has worked at Eagle Valley Middle School for the last 18 years. He manages 5 custodians, 4 during the night shift and 1 during the day. He considers himself a good boss. He treats them well and wouldn't ask them to do anything he wouldn't do himself. In fact, he wished we could recognize the entire custodial staff for this recognition because they all work hard and do an amazing job each day. According to Mr. Thetford, Robert genuinely treats the school like it's his own home and works extremely hard to make it a great place to be. In his own words, Robert said, "He takes challenges head on. I just go at it. I fix it." He also said his favorite students are the special education students. He knows all of them by name and has photos of each of them in his office. They always give Robert their school photos, and he cherishes each of them. As an Army veteran, Robert is also a man of honor. Last November, his wife passed away, and as difficult as that has been for him, he continues to put his best effort into everything. Of him, Dr. Connolly said, "Robert is continually supportive of staff while filling their requests with a smile on his face. He is readily available and is absolutely amazing how much positive energy he has and how much he gets done." Robert, if you were here, we would give you the time. But let's recognize him here tonight. Mrs. Semino. Lauren is a firm believer in the philosophy that what a person puts into a situation is what they will get out of the situation. That is the perspective, energy, and effort she brings daily into all aspects of her career and life. As I had a chance to visit with her, Lauren said her job is to bring experiences to her students. Sometimes the most basic techniques are the most innovative. Through her curriculum, she's had the students hatch eggs and raise chickens in her classroom, which I'm sure was pretty exciting and messy. She's taught them about animal science, food science, and more. She believes strongly in experiential learning and hands-on instruction. Throughout her 7 years at Eagle Valley Middle School, she has strived to be the best teacher she could be. Dr. Connolly reaffirmed the sentiment. He said, "Mrs. Semino is unwavering in her service to students. She holds them to a high level of accountability and honesty, and for that, her students respect her and know that she will always support them, even when she needs to get a little tough with them." What is most evident with Mrs. Semino is that she is so positive and keeps a great sense of humor, even during the most trying and difficult times and circumstances. We are indeed lucky to have her at Eagle Valley Middle School and as a representative of our district. Lauren.
Thank you, and congratulations to everyone that's being honored tonight. This is truly an exceptional night. I want to say thank you to my administrative team, school board members, admin at the district level. Without you and my family and friends, I would not be here because, every day is new as an educator. And a huge thank you goes to my students because they're the easiest part of my day. So thank you.
See, she's always positive. We're going to move on to Seeliger here. And one of my favorite individuals is Jabril Fall. I might embarrass you here for a minute. Jabril is an educated individual. He graduated from the University of Dakar, which is the capital of Senegal, a West African country colonized by the French. He holds a master's degree in science of information, which is an equivalency to a U.S. bachelor's degree in library science. He has more than 16 years of experience working in archives and record management. He was an employee of the Department of Justice, which is the West African Supreme Court. I think that's pretty impressive. Let's give him a round of applause. He said he was raised in a family where they consider work as a form of adoration. He said work is a major way to glorify God in our daily lives. Principal Paulo Zona described him as constantly having a smile and kind words for students, staff, and parents. Mr. Fall is a kind, friendly, knowledgeable, and committed to our school. His positive, outgoing personality combined with getting the job done displays skills far beyond his role. As I had time to visit with him, he said, "I like doing my work. It's not just cleaning. First, we are all part of a community. Second, we are all educators. We are all part of something greater. The most important part of the job is being close to the kids and helping them get their education." Jabril.
Thank you, everybody. Usually I am guys who like joking. Most of the time I have in my side a translator because I'm a French guy. I speak French. I'm more comfortable in French than English, but I want to thank everybody. Thank you. I want to not say thank you for my school, but thank you for the school district, because it's not easy for guys coming from Africa, barely speaking English, getting a job and promoted to become lead custodian. It's not easy. I want to thank everybody. I don't have the word, but thank you so much. Thank you, my school. Thank you, my kids, my family, all the staff. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bonnie. Bonnie's heart has always been with Seeliger. Her first experience with the school was when her daughter was attending. Now listen to how amazing this is. Teaching is her second career. She has a degree in recreation administration and decided in her 40s to go back to school and become a teacher. She enrolled in the Fast Track program at Sierra Nevada College in January of 2000, and then did her student teaching in third grade class at, anyone? You guessed it, Seeliger Elementary. Now, 20 years later, here she is being recognized as Educator of the Year. Some of her fondest moments have come when she sees the light bulb come on in her students, whether it be in math or reading, or when former students come back to visit her and say, "Look, you made a difference." The best thing that she said during our visit, though, was this. She said, "A good educator doesn't only see the need of support for just students, but also for teachers and employees." Bonnie, congratulations.
I just want to thank everyone. I'm very humbled and grateful for this honor. And like I said, it was said, this is my second career, but I feel like this is my only career because I love being a teacher and I love what I do. And I'm very thankful for Carson City School District, Seeliger Elementary. That's my home, that's where my heart is, that's where it will always be. And I'm just grateful to the staff at Seeliger, Mrs. Zona for believing in me, for switching my position this year, and just with all the wonderful people that I work with. So, thank you very much.
We've got Bordewick Bray and Janice. Janice has been with the district for nearly 20 years. She first started as a cook at Empire Elementary and has worked her way up to manager at Bordewick Bray for the last 6 years. According to Vice Principal Dr. Carolyn Cook, Janice is very dedicated and a hard worker. She arrives early in the morning and with the assistance of the other kitchen staff works tirelessly preparing nearly 750 meals each day. That's a lot for a grade school.
It is.
Additionally, she often has to make changes to the menus due to continued supply shortages, and just recently when the snow stopped trucks from making deliveries of various products. She also said her flexibility and ability to pivot in strenuous circumstances was likely the reason her coworkers chose her to represent Bordewick Bray as the Employee of the Year. One of her fondest moments is feeding the children of kids she fed back when she first started. So she also understands how her job contributes to the overall good. There are countless studies done on student performance and being hungry. Janice said, "We don't know what type of meals our students are getting at home. If we can ensure that they have something to eat, that helps level the playing field for those less fortunate." Congrats, Janice.
First, I'd just like to thank everybody for giving me this honor. As I look out, there's a lot of friends and colleagues that I've worked with through the years. Good to see all of you. My 7 children that my husband and I raised all have gone through the Carson City School District. Now my grandkids are going into the district, and they're all over there. So I would just like to say it's a wonderful place to work, great people, good staff. Thank you.
Ms. Jackie Bennett. This is Jackie's 16th year as a teacher. She's enrolled in the Washoe tribe and resides in the Carson Indian Colony. She started teaching with Silver State Charter Schools and taught special education as a resource teacher. She loves being recognized by students who also reside in the Washoe tribal community and overhearing them explain to other non-native students that she is their neighbor and probably my auntie. To her, it means so much to be visible in a career that her students and neighbors could also choose. According to Principal Riquetta, Jackie cares very deeply for every student she has ever taught. She works hard to develop a trusting and caring relationship with each student. She believes that this needs to happen first before learning can occur. She creates a safe environment where her students are willing to take risks, try their best, and know that it's okay if they're not successful. They will get there. I especially loved her philosophy of education. Jackie said she leans towards natural consequences. She said, "They are events that happen because of choices we make. They are not positive or negative. They are there to allow us to do better or be better next time. Jackie.
I want to thank all the staff and teachers at Bordewick Bray. It's a great school. Like he said, it's the feeder for my community. That's where my students go, and that's where my kids went. And so when I went into teaching, that was the only place I wanted to teach at. But unfortunately, when I first started, I didn't get on there, but I'm so happy to be there now. And I want to thank my family for always believing in me, even when I wasn't sure I was going to make it this far. And just thank you. It is a great honor. Thank you so much.
All right, let's move on to Empire. Mr. Robert Ruiz. Robert has enjoyed working for the Carson City School District since 2004. He is a lead custodian in Empire Elementary who trains all new custodians, including students. He is a U.S. Air Force veteran, and his primary objective is to keep everyone healthy and well and in class. As we visited together, Robert told me his job contributes to the overall good because when students are out of school due to illness or otherwise, they are not getting the education they need. His colleagues said they don't always get to work with him, but when they do, he's always pleasant and goes out of his way to do anything they may need. Principal Tuttle said Robert always has a smiling face and is genuinely interested in how the day is going. He is so hardworking and always ready to help with anything. He gives more than 100% every day. He's the epitome of professionalism. He truly is a treasure to Empire. Thanks and congratulations, Robert.
I want to thank everybody that supported me, and I'm very honored to receive this award tonight. I'm just a small part of the whole working family, educators, support staff, aides. We're all there in the soup together. And as I realized here the last few years since the pandemic hit, that my services are essential to keeping kids in school healthy and safe, as well as the staff. Thank you very much.
Mrs. Monk. I know. Empire Elementary School has been Jennifer's home quite literally. She's a Carson City native and an alumnus of Empire Elementary, Eagle Valley Middle School, and Carson High School. In fact, she loves Empire Elementary and Carson City so much, she commutes all the way from North Valleys, which is north of Reno, to Carson with her kids each day. Serious commitment. Just driving through that spaghetti bowl is.
You know, sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's 4.
She does this because she said this is where she sees students succeed. Her coworker said Jennifer comes to work every day with a positive attitude and a smile on her face. She's a thoughtful educator who has the ability to see things from many perspectives and is open to new ideas and ways of increasing student fun and learning. Ms. Funk exhibits patience and builds positive relationships with her students. She mentors new teachers and serves on multiple committees. She is one of the STEM leaders at Empire and is on the school CIP team. She is also working toward her national certification in STEM. During our visit together, Jen shared with me that she always makes a point to say, "I love you," to her students and gives them hugs because she said that may be the only I love you or hug that they get that day. Jennifer, you're so impressive. Please, time is yours.
I would like to start by saying thank you to the school board and the school district for this lovely evening. I would like to thank my colleagues at Empire for choosing me this year as our Educator of the Year in what was actually a 3-round decision. In my interview, I was asked what my greatest influence or what my greatest accomplishment was, at least what I think it was. I may have hallucinated in that part because I was a little nervous, but I think that's what the question was. Anyway, for argument's sake, let's say it was. As accomplishments go, I cannot pick one person or one event. I am the sum of my parts. Almost 10 years ago, I was hired as a kindergarten teacher at Empire. Mind you, this was after, like Mr. Davis said, I went to Empire. So it was kind of an Oprah full circle moment kind of thing. I was moved to 3rd grade 3 days before school started, and while I was standing there, and while I have stayed there since, good luck getting me to leave there. I have too much stuff. The pieces of the educator standing here today were placed by some of the best people and experiences there are. Kendra Ciccarelli was next door, and when I told her I was changed last minute to 3rd grade, without hesitation, she said, "I'll be right there." At least she hasn't gotten rid of me since, even though she's moved across the school. I have learned from administrators that taught me to tell my students I love them, even on them hard days, because it might be the only time they hear it today. Mrs. Wiggins invited me to be a STEM leader to help our students reach new heights. I was asked to become a writer of the district's social studies MIUs and become a mentor to help new teachers see the worth of this profession. I and my colleagues, whom are all working together to get through the rapids and steer this boat so that we can make a little change for a bigger picture tomorrow. I have seen students who not letters and sounds coming into 3rd grade and put in the work to leave knowing 30 points higher on scores, or students who spent 10 minutes a day crying every day, not wanting to come into school, and now they're happy here. I'm the sum of my parts. Personally, the parts that make up my sum are beautiful. I am the wife of Jason. I am the mother of Phoebe and Lucy and Daxton. I am the daughter of Danny and Christy. I am the sisters of Brandon, Kaylee, and Cassidy, the latter of which also work at Empire. Watch out. I am the win-win to Oliver, Annabelle, Dorothy, Corey, Casey, and Kenny, and I cannot begin to tell you how proud and thankful I am to have these people as my people. I am the sum of my parts. Thank you for this honor. Thank you to those and so many more for being the string woven into the tapestry of my beautiful and colorful and quirky little life, and making me who I am today and the educator that I am for the rest of my life.
We're going to move on to Fremont. Gabriella. Gabriella earned a nursing degree from a secondary medical school in Europe in 1992 and worked at a children's hospital for more than 9 years. She worked as a pediatric nurse and later became a charge nurse. After moving to Prague, she worked in the cardiac surgery department. Later, her and her husband moved to the United States. Their plans were to get a job and experience different cultures, languages, customs, cuisine, see famous landmarks, and make new friends. Like we all do and have, they fell in love with the mountains and the quaint sense of community in this small town of Carson City and decided to stay. Today, Gabriella is the mother of 3, with children attending UNR and Carson Middle School. She has worked as a special education paraprofessional for the past 4 years. Of Gabriella, Dr. Ward said she goes above and beyond to provide support to her students, helping them to achieve their academic and personal goals. Her patience and dedication have significantly impacted the lives of these students and families. Mr. Ryan Mick said, Gabriella is an absolute asset to my classroom. The amazing things that we are able to do for our students every day would not be possible without her dedication and support. Gabriella is a personification of hard work, dedication, tenacity, reliability, and compassion. Every single day, she shows up to work with a smile on her face and care for our students in her heart. Gabriella.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here tonight and humbled by this recognition. I would like to thank my colleague for choosing me as the classified employee of the year at Fremont Elementary School. I would like to thank Dr. Lennox and Dr. Ward for believing in me. Thank you to my coworkers for sharing their knowledge and experiences with me and always supporting me. Thank you to every school staff member for their hard work and dedication and for creating such a positive working environment. Last but not least, thank you to my family for their support. Thank you.
Alyssa Herrera. She is so fun. I want to give special props to Alyssa. On the day that we were doing interviews as a committee for Educator of the Year, it was her birthday. And I'm sure that there were many other more enjoyable things that she would rather be doing than taking time to visit with us. That being said, Mrs. Herrera is a high flyer. She's another example of alternative routes to licensure. She attended UNR and wanted to go into nursery. She earned her master's and later went the ARL route. She has taught 2nd and 3rd grade and is now in her 5th year of teaching kindergarten. Dr. Ward said Mrs. Herrera's classroom is one of high expectations. Every student is given the opportunity to reach their maximum potential. The creativity that is evident is truly phenomenal. This year, she introduced the idea of a classroom fairy into her instruction. The classroom fairy often delivers notes to the students that highlights their writing rubrics, behavioral expectations, and other excitements that are tied to classroom learning. The concept of the classroom fairy came up as we visited with Alyssa, and I love how she summarized the technique. She said, they're 5 and 6-year-olds. They can do hard things, but sometimes you got to put some magic into it. That being said, Alyssa's efforts as the classroom fairy is much broader net. Coworker Brittany Winkler said, as a colleague, Mrs. Herrera is just as exceptional as she is as a teacher. She consistently models professionalism, thoughtfulness, integrity, creativity, and a drive to continuously improve her practice, which is contagious to those around her. There are so many good things to say about her. I wish we had more time for all of them, but I will end with this. Mrs. Herrera said, "People think I play with blocks and paint for a living, but in reality, I get to build a love of learning, and that is just so awesome." Congratulations.
So I just want to say I'm incredibly honored and humbled to be up here and represent a school that I love so much, the people I love so much. I always say my favorite part about my job in my classroom are the people that I get to share it with, and to my colleagues and my administrators and the students themselves. I'm just so grateful, and thank you for being a part of my journey. So, thank you.
We're going to move on to Fritch here. And we have Mrs. Maria Cavaria. You'll have to pardon her. She's very nervous, and I told her she didn't have to be nervous tonight. Maria started working with the Carson City School District more than 16 years ago when she began substituting at Mark Twain Elementary for a paraprofessional who who is on maternity leave. She's been working at Fritch Elementary since 2007. Maria supports and encourages her students and makes them feel comfortable. She anticipates where a student may have difficulty and provides the necessary scaffolding and support to ensure subject mastery. Special education professional Patty Favier said, Maria has a positive attitude and a kind, friendly demeanor. She has warm greeting and a smile, which is so welcoming. Her positive presence every day makes your workday better. It's not uncommon to see a difficult student run to her and give her a big hug and promise her that they will do better or do their best and work hard to have a successful day. Principal Brown said, she understands not just how to build relationships with students, but also demonstrates why we need to build relationships with students. One thing I especially appreciated about Maria is she is the bridge for families. In her words, she said, I take pride in having all our students and parents be connected to the school and our community. I've given all the parents my personal cell number. In making a link to the school, they feel more a part of society and not isolated in a bubble. Congratulations, Maria. The time is yours.
I want to begin by thanking my colleges at Fraser Elementary School for this nomination, as well as our admin. It was beyond surprising, and I did not expect this because every professional worked so hard along with the teachers to give their best education, support, and care for all the students and their family. I give a special thanks to all my coworkers and my supervisors from ESL department. I will treasure this experience forever. I cannot name everybody that I've been thankful for. I cannot name everyone individually because we don't have enough time. My mother told me one day that wherever my vocation was, always do my best and be happy to do it. And that's what I've been doing. I want to thank all the people to join us today and some of my family members and friends. Thank you so much to everybody. I'm very humbled to receive this plaque. Thank you so much.
All right, Mrs. Witkowski. I hope I'm not going to embarrass you here. This is really good stuff. Now, Mr. Brown has a running track record for providing some of the best letters submitted for Educator Employees of the Year. And this year's letters, again, did not disappoint. There was a great reference and wording from the 1962 film adaptation, The Music Man. But really what stood out to me and what I want to share with you comes from the letter that Mrs. Witkowski submitted herself. So no offense, Mr. Brown. I'm not going to read the letter in its entirety, but here are some highlights. Born more than 2,000 miles away in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Nicole was raised by hardworking parents. Her father was a concrete contractor for 40 plus years, and her mother was a stay-home mom. Her parents' relentless work ethic, an example, and the example they set is one that Nicole has modeled from a very young age. She began playing the flute in 4th grade. She worked hard on perfecting her musical talents for 2 reasons. One, she didn't want to disappoint her band teacher, but secondly, she mostly wanted to prove to her parents that she was just as hardworking as they were. While in high school, Nicole's mother was diagnosed with lung cancer, which unfortunately took her life 2 weeks into Nicole's freshman year. Her mother's passing wasn't easy. but music had a natural way of allowing her to truly feel and understand emotion. With the assistance of several inspirational music teachers who gave her purpose during her darkest years, she deeply wanted to pay forward their unwavering support and love for music to future students who may be struggling much as she was. Before I read this last part, I need to make note that we had a meeting today for cabinet, and it was brought up that we have some pretty incredible and amazing music instructors in our district, and you are, of course, one of those. So congratulations to you and Mr. Jocks and all the other music teachers in our district, because I think you bring something to students that allows them to step away from regular curriculum, kind of have a break, and really feel emotion and kind of get their jiggers out a little bit, if you will. In conclusion of her letter, she states, "For the last 5 years, I've kept my life experiences at the forefront of my work, and I will continue not only to teach music education to its highest standard, but also to support the students I teach, by always encouraging the overall pleasure music adds to our lives. Mrs. Witkowski, you're so remarkable and so strong. Thank you and congratulations."
Thank you, everybody. Something that came to mind while I was thinking about what to say to you all was when I was taking the interview, somebody said, "Did you see what Mr. Brown had to say in his letter?" And I said, "No, was it good or bad?" And it was all a whole entire quote of the Music Man, and just brings so much, happiness and laughter. That just goes to show what kind of environment we do have at Fritsch Elementary. It's just a family. I did move here straight out of college 6 years ago. I didn't know anybody except 2 others here who happened to go to college with me. There was a small pool of people that I went to college with already in Carson City. So I was grateful for that. But aside from that, kind of going in blind, in 6 years' time, I made fabulous relationships with the people I work with, taught the children of people on the school board, some of our district employees, and it's just been such an incredible opportunity to get to know so many of you in so many different ways. So, like Mr. Davis said, music is a step aside from the day-to-day work grind that these students are, expected to meet, and especially during our testing season now, we're in music class this week singing a song about a grizzly bear and strumming some ukuleles. So I hope to be that outlet for some of these kids that they so desperately need. And the little hug from the kindergartner this morning that used to run away from me for about 7 months was really a win. And I think we're making some progress, and I'm just happy to provide that for these kids. So thank you so much. Thanks for the support. Appreciate it.
All right, Mark Twain. In the 5 years she has In the 5 years she has supported student learning in the district, this year has been one of the most challenging. So it is with great pleasure tonight that I have the opportunity to recognize Mrs. Melissa Hoffman. Mrs. Hoffman is a quiet leader amongst the wonderful team of educational support professionals at Mark Twain Elementary School. Principal Cruikshank said she leads by example as she progresses through her daily duties, where she is a key component to our success with our younger students. Melissa is an incredibly kind and honest person. She radiates positivity and sincerity. Cassandra Blankenship said, "It is very clear to those who work with Melissa that she is touching many lives with her generosity, compassion, and joyful nature. Her smile is infectious and can lift the worst of moods." One of the meaningful things that Melissa said during our interview was, Seeing and inspiring students to help other students is wonderful and encourages me every day. I feel each child deserves the best we have to offer, even when the circumstances of their learning needs may require deep exploration and an uphill climb to their individual summits. And I like that analogy. Mrs. Hoffman, you are the queen of many mountains. The time is yours.
Not one to speak in front of public, but I just want to say this is honor. I'm glad I was able to get this for my school at Mark Twain Elementary School. I've gotten a more amazing support staff, students that I work with, and I have been doing this for 5 years. I started out as a SPED para and transitioned into a kindergarten para, and every day is different. It's all good. I love my job. I love the students. I love seeing them come in with a smiling face, all excited to learn. And this is just an honor to see this award. So thank you.
All right, Mrs. Schwartz. Jill Schwartz is another Carson City native. She attended school at Fremont, Eagle Valley, and graduated from Carson High School. She's been teaching for more than 21 years, and with her longevity and kind-heartedness, you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who has not been taught by or worked with her. As a first-grade teacher, Jill said, "I want my students to remember their early years with fond memories." Certainly, we know by practice, if a student has had a bad experience early in their educational career, it's difficult to reel them back in. That's why her role is so huge. She has a knack for making personal connections with her students. She develops relationships with them, and that has been a big impact on both them and her. Jill also said, "We need to see our students as people, not as students. I want them to know that I care about them first and foremost. I care about who they are and what they can become, even if they don't yet believe it themselves." You truly are an inspiration to all of us, Jill.
Thank you. This is really hard for me to get up in front of colleagues and all the amazing, wonderful educators out there. My true passion, of course, is being in the classroom with my first graders, and I'm very grateful for this, and I appreciate it very much.
Well, that concludes all of our schools. We do have some other auxiliary departments that we want to recognize. So from student supports, we have Julie Hammer. Julie began her career with the Carson City School District in 2009. She was first hired on as a lunch duty SFA tutor at Mark Twain Elementary School. Since then, she has held 4 different positions, but one thing that has stayed consistent in her is her ability and desire to help people. She's the mother of 3 amazing people. She fulfills her responsibilities and obligations at an exceptionally high level. Her attendance is exemplary, is always on time, and volunteers to help when it's needed. Ms. Ammerman is an integral part of her department. She is one that keeps things going, but with fun. Excuse me. One of her favorite pieces of advice to moms of teenagers is to get a dog. Because it's always nice to have someone excited to see you at the end of the day. Finally, one of the neatest things I pulled from our visit together is she secretly loves Mondays. Why? Because at that point, the week has so much promise. Julie, I know it's Tuesday, but does somebody have a case of the Mondays? The time is yours.
Thank you very much. I feel really honored to receive this award. I feel really honored to have a job that I love going to every single day. It is true, I do love Mondays. I admit it. You know, since I started with the district, I have held many roles, and I've loved all of them. I've worked with many of you over the years, and I've really enjoyed every job that I've had. But I just want to thank my department and Dr. Lennox. She makes work fun, even though she's like the busiest woman alive. I want to thank my family and my fiance, who has had to deal with back to school Julie for 7 years. It's not exactly a fun time. And then lastly, I just kind of wanted to say that really I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Ruth Lee Calerio, who hired me many years ago in 2009 when I walked into her office and asked her for a job as a yard duty. So she was just a really special person to me. She meant a lot to me, and she guided me all throughout my career. So thank you.
You know, I didn't prepare anything to mention about Mrs. Calerio, but I will kind of go off script here, and don't freak out, people. She's had tremendous impact, not only with her students and staff, but it continues to progress. And kind of the way I look at it is there comes a certain point where you can only progress so far up the ladder. And when you get to that certain point, your progression becomes lateral. And I think Ruth Lee kind of has that progression laterally now, where she has reached her highest level, but she is experiencing that progression on a more advanced level. So I just wanted to mention that. So hopefully that wasn't too risque off script, but let's proceed here. We've got Candy. Candy's been an educator for more than 22 years. In fact, some of her first high school graduates are now in their 50s, and her last group of third graders graduated in June of last year. She started teaching at Proctor Hug High School in the English department in 1986. After a 15-year hiatus in industry work, Candy came back to education in 2006 to teach third grade at Bordwick Bray Elementary School. She learned from her mother as a young child, and I like this, I've got it in quotes: work hard, embrace challenges, be honest and respectful. Remember to be grateful and kind. Be generous of spirit, and remember everyone comes from different backgrounds with varied interests and skills. Stand up for what you know is right. Ask questions respectfully. Use your words, and be a learner. Carson High's CTE program is a shining star for the school and is a program that continues to thrive because of Candy. She has an ability to juggle many responsibilities all at once. In addition to doing spontaneous television interviews for me, she's also responsible for the following: overseeing $20,000 in grant funding, ensuring courses follow state requirements, coaching and mentoring teachers, supporting new hires, advocating for CTE and fine arts teachers in site management team meetings and SSTs, supporting the development of curriculum, and overseeing workplace learning. In her interview for Educator of the Year, she said, The district allows you to have amazing experiences, and there are plenty of folks who are helpful to coach you up. Candy, in your case, that is so true. I'll leave you all with Candy's philosophy on education. She said these 3 words: grace, gratitude, and integrity. She said we need to remind ourselves to give people grace, including yourselves. Candy.
So thank you, Dan, for reminding me of my mom's words. She's been gone several years now. It's good to hear Mom's voice. I'm so overwhelmed and grateful. Professionally, many of you know me as somebody that meets timelines and deadlines. Personally, as a human, I'm a procrastinator. I'm a horrible, horrible procrastinator. So today, with an hour left to figure out what I was going to say, I stood in front of the bathroom mirror and I realized I had no contacts in all day long. I was not wearing mascara and my socks didn't match. And that is really the reality of education. It's really the reality, and yet every day you get up as a person in education and you pull your life together and you go make a difference in the lives of the people with which you work, the teachers with whom you work, the staff members with whom you work, and the children that look to you every single day. It's really the grace of the Carson City School District to be able to stand together and celebrate each other, to celebrate the good things each and every day, to remind ourselves that we do good things. It's also magic in the Carson City School District that on the bad days, the challenging days, you know who to go to. And if you're not strong enough to go to somebody, somebody comes to you and stands up beside you and holds you up. And in the days when you think you're having a good day and it turns out you look in the mirror and you're not, it's the grace of the people that you sit next to that don't even point it out. They're like, I don't know what's going on there, but we're just gonna let it go. So thanks to Josh and to Charlene and to Susan today, who did not notice or did not say. I think it's also about our families, because we go into education knowing that we are not a 9-to-5 job. We are not a 7:30 to 3:30 job. And so thank you to all of the families here tonight, sharing and celebrating the educational professionals that are with you. I just want to shout out to my husband, Michael. I come home almost every day with a CTE TED Talk, whether he wants to hear the TED Talk or not. He is my one and only subscriber to the Candy Robles CTE YouTube channel. So thank you to him and to my kids.
Thank you, Candy. We really appreciate you. All right. Transportation. Jessica Weiser. Jessica has been an employee of the district since 2019. She started out as a regular route driver and is now one of our substitute bus drivers, which are full-time at 6 hours per day. Jessica drives for field trips and does extra runs and routes during the week. She also assists with training and retraining drivers. She's a very dependable and hardworking employee with a great attitude. Jessica is the proud mom of a beautiful, talented, and smart 14-year-old daughter who has a passion for dance. Beyond being a dance mom, she has a huge heart and passion for travel and outreach to those less privileged. Jessica partners with a nonprofit organization that provides opportunities to work with orphans and widows around the world. Since 2014, she has traveled to 10 different countries, spreading joy and love to mainly children by way of bringing Christmas, food, school supplies, and other creative arts such as music, song, dance, art, etc. She's even been able to stay connected with some of those whom she had sponsored throughout the years. So in addition to all the students and families she's making an impact with here locally, Jessica's seeing thousands of kids and their kin establish flourishing lives. Her co-workers describe her as bubbly, cheery, and a ray of sunshine. She most certainly brings the light wherever she goes. We're indeed grateful for you, Jessica. Congratulations. The time is yours.
Wow, how can I compete with everybody? I am so incredibly grateful and honored to be sharing this award with everybody else here. I have been sitting here the whole entire time listening, and I just want to say ditto. I really feel everybody and what they have said, and man, making a difference in children's lives. Who knew that it would be so much fun? And I come home every single day, and I'm grateful for the kids that I drive. I see them all, the gamut. And going from pre-K all the way up to high school, and it's just been a wonderful joy. So thank you, and I'm so glad that I am sharing this, and I'm so honored. Thank you, guys.
All right, operations. Mr. Owen. Dan Owen has been with the Carson City School District for the past 15 years, and he consistently has a smile and kind words for students, staff, and parents. He is knowledgeable and committed to his work. His positive, outgoing personality, combined with getting the job done, establishes him as a key asset in the district. He thrives on being the one to rally up the team. He strives to get along with everyone, which is hugely important to the morale of the department. And with an unprecedented winter, in his words, there are a lot of us who have been working really, really hard this year. But it's worth it because when people arrive at school, the grounds are the first things they see. It's their first impression. Because of our department, in many cases, we've made it so we could have school. When asked how he overcomes challenges, he said he likes to go home and take a really long shower and wash away all the dirt and grime. Additionally, he loves music. He has an everlasting love for it, and being a musician only adds to his obsession. Whether he's listening or playing music is a huge part of his everyday life. Dan also plays the drums, so rock on, Dan.
Thank you, Dan. I don't know what else to say. Thank you guys so much. There are like a lot of familiar faces in here. Thank you, everybody, over the years for pushing me, challenging me, encouraging me, and I wouldn't be here. I'm very grateful to get this. Very humbled. Being new into the grounds department already, to get selected, I was kind of shocked. So it's just very humbling. And of course, more than anything, I want to thank my wife. And she's always supportive.
Dan, I think they were clapping for your wife, if you want to continue. All right, we've got the administration office and PDC. I'll share with you that this next employee of the year is now a 3-time winner. Naomi. Naomi first earned the Employee of the Year recognition while she worked in the IT department in the district office. While there, however, she said she really missed the kids and had since become a librarian at Fremont. After serving as a librarian, she was again named Employee of the Year. Well, feeling like she could help out more, she's again transitioned back to IT, only this time at Carson High School. And here we are again, Employee of the Year. Naomi lived in Carson City the majority of her life and attended schools in our district. She's been lucky enough to watch her 3 children attend the same schools. She married a Carson City native who works for the city but is the varsity wrestling coach at Carson High. According to Raymond Darris, Director of Information Technology, Naomi is an extraordinarily productive, reliable, resilient, flexible, and amazing individual with a deep love for education and technology. Her ability to think critically, use reasoning, communicate effectively, and leverage her experience to help guide her through complex technical and human situations is invaluable in her position. Her job is problem solving. She's exclusively dealing with people who are very vulnerable and are at their wits' end. They've planned everything out, and now their technology is not going according to plan. When asked how she supports her colleagues, she said, "That's all I do. I reassure them that everything is going to be all right and it's going to work out." Naomi, congratulations.
Well, thank you very much. Funny story, it actually took Raymond 3 times to convince me that I was chosen for Employee of the Year. 3. And my response to that is, are you sure, Raymond? Because I come in, day out, and I witness so many people that are just so dedicated and hardworking every single day. So that just makes this just so much more of an honor. I really couldn't do my job effectively without the strong leadership of my director and the daily support of my colleagues. So I just want to thank everyone. Thank you.
We're nearly there, guys. We're going to move on. We've got a few more here. I'm going to ask President Crossman to come join me up here. As part of our other recognitions, we have an Administrator of the Year. She knows she won. We announced it in the principal's meeting. So, prior to her appointment as the new principal of Bordewick Bray Elementary School, Ms. Cheryl Racchetta previously served as the vice principal at Fremont Elementary. Prior to that, she served the district as the lead literacy specialist, where she oversaw the district's rollout of Read by Grade 3 initiative. She also simultaneously served as the summer school administrator for 6 elementary schools and as the ELA implementation specialist at Mark Twain Elementary. In addition, Racchetta served as administrative intern under Principal Ruth Lee Colario at Mark Twain, and her teaching experience includes 6th and 7th grade math at Carson Middle and kindergarten, 1st, 3rd, 5th grade at Mark Twain. She earned a bachelor's degree in education from Arizona State University, a teaching English as second language endorsement from Southern Utah University, a master's in educational administration from Grand Canyon. I'm grateful for leaders like her who continue to foster an educational environment where students can learn and succeed. And as we mentioned before, some students don't always learn on the same day nor in the same way. Mrs. Racchetta has worked tirelessly to ensure her teachers and employees are helping reach those students and learn in the best way that they can. Congratulations, Mrs. Racchetta.
Well, I'm very lucky because I have a great job. And I've been in this district for 26 years, and I've got to work at many different schools, Mark Twain, Carson Middle School, Fremont, and really, it's not a job. It's my husband always says, he goes, I really wanted you to have a hobby. I didn't know it was going to be your job. And so I have to stop by thanking my family because they do support me and put up with a lot of time away and working hard, and they're always there for me. So I really do appreciate that. But really, truly, I feel honored to be among everybody else here tonight. And truly, I work at a great school. Bordewick is just a great place to be, and such a, a leader of a school is only as strong as the people that you get to lead. And so I'm really lucky who I get to hang out with every day and watch them work with the kids and the kids too. I had a kindergartner come up to me today and hug me, and he goes, after he hugs me, he kind of looks at me funny. He goes, huh, you smell good. And I go, so I'm like, well, those are the little things every day that just make you smile, and just, I love my job. So you never know what's going to happen from day to day. So I'm just really thankful for this honor, and I can't thank all the people that I've gotten to work with. I know so many of you that I've worked with in the past. I have to do a shout out to Jen, who I got to work with at Fremont and just taught me how to be a great, do a great job. If I can do half of what she does, then I call myself pretty lucky. And I work for a great district, and the people I get to work with every day here and support me, so thank you.
Now, we are getting down to the wire here. It's time for the final two awards. And as many may know, each candidate endures a series of strenuous interview questions from a panel of comprehensive judges. Upon conclusion of those interviews, the panel has a difficult job of selecting one ESP Employee of the Year and one Educator of the Year. So, I'm going to invite President Crossman to come over here and announce this here.
The overall Educational Support Professional of the Year award goes to Leticia Servin.
Before I give you the mic, I gotta embarrass you a little bit more here. Our judging panel had such a difficult time selecting only one out of all the high caliber individuals represented here tonight. But what really stood out to us was Leticia is genuinely one of the most critical staff members in all of Carson High. Without her, so many of our students and families would not be properly served and supported. Carson High's population is easily more than half Latino students, and many of these students and families are Spanish-speaking only. Because of this, teachers, counselors, and administrators regularly need an interpreter, and Leticia never shies away from making tough phone calls or to help with translating documents or attending parent meetings. She is always compassionate, kind, and warm to these families, and her thorough understanding of both the school system and the various unique cultures of the families help to seamlessly build a connection for guardians and students alike. More than just translating in language, Leticia also works hard to build bridges for parents who often feel disconnected from the American education system. She has created programming, parent education, and student club opportunities that allow students and guardians to learn and grow in a way that feels culturally relevant and less isolating than traditional programming. Above all, without Leticia, half of our families would still struggle to feel welcome within our halls. Leticia, congratulations, you're so deserving of this.
Like my mother, as a migrant worker, would say, si se puede, si se pudo. Thank you, guys. Like I said, I feel that this is my home. I've worked with many of you guys in many different schools, and I always feel welcomed. I love what I do. I truly, truly love what I do, and I want to thank everybody. Thank you for the recognition. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, before I let my sister announce this final award, I need to say this educator purposely assigns all students into teams within their classes. They select those teams with the intent of balancing their academic levels of performance within a team. And for this teacher, it is always rewarding to see the top performing students helping their respective teammates. Because in the business world, and more specifically in the military, we are only as good as our weakest link, right? President Crossman?
The overall Educator of the Year award goes to Lieutenant Commander Dan Myers.
I still have to embarrass him too. Our judging committee really bounced back and forth on this. As always, it's a difficult decision to pick just one educator to represent our district among the other 17 school districts across the state of Nevada, but what really sealed it for us this year was the national attention and presence Commander Meyer has drawn to Carson High School. In the last 9 years he's been at Carson High, Commander Meyer's unit was selected as Distinguished Unit for the last 6 consecutive years. Of the 568 units in the nation, Carson High's unit was twice selected as one of the top 10 units of the year, including last year. When you think of being ranked in the top 10 nationwide, that really settled with us, and it should settle with you. Commander Meyer is driven to help our schools, community, and those in need. This year, his cadets raised more than $6,000 in support of the Angel Tree program. Additionally, his cadets purchased pink cords to wear on their uniforms during Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Through their efforts, they proudly presented a $1,000 check to the Carson Tahoe Cancer Center. This particular fundraiser personally struck a chord with him. He was recently diagnosed with prostate cancer. Through the whole process, he began to lose his motivation. But he did share with me that when he thought about his students, he said, I thought I just can't let them down. They were my motivation to push through. So Commander Meyer, tonight, thank you for not letting us down. You continue to be a motivation for so many. Please, the time is yours.
Wow. As Dan knows, I can talk a lot. During the interview, he had to cut me off. He says, okay, well, it's time, right? I remember that. And I thought, I just blew this. But, wow, I'm so humbled. To my fellow honorees, I'll try not to cry. I'm a grown man, yes. Congratulations, and I'm so proud to be one of you. When I walked back earlier, I had to slip past my wife, and I thought, oh, and I didn't thank her. She's my high school sweetheart. Don't do the math, but January the 2nd was our 51st wedding anniversary. I can tell you, if I didn't have her in my life, I wouldn't be here. She has pushed me, she has supported me. You know, I did 30 years in the Navy. A Navy wife, and for the military families, you know, that's not easy. We have 3 great kids, and she raised them well. That's why I said in my interview, she did such a great job, because I'm gone all the time. And then she's here still supporting me. Next year I'll have 20 years doing the program, and she's still there supporting me. So Jenny, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So Dan, I won't be long-winded. Thank you so much.
Now, in addition to being recognized as Administrator of the Year, ESP Employee of the Year, and Educator of the Year, there's more to sweeten this experience tonight. The Carson City Schools Foundation approached the district office about doing something a little more for these 3 winners. I'd like now to invite Ms. Casey Gillis, who will be representing the Carson City Schools Foundation, up to the podium, and her counterpart to deliver some remarks.
Good evening. Most of you know me, but for those who don't, I'm Casey Gillis. I retired from our great district, and now I have the pleasure of being a board member for the foundation. Our president, Steve Reynolds, is here tonight, but he said it was my turn to talk if I kept it short. And at this point in the evening, I think you'll all appreciate that. But our foundation has the privilege of having Greater Nevada Credit Union as a partner. They're dedicated to supporting and honoring our district staff. Recently, they came to us and said they'd like the foundation to name one staff member to be honored at the ACES game as our educational hero. Well, that was a dilemma, because we consider every employee a hero. But then we realized you've done our task for us tonight. Tonight, you have recognized 3 heroes to represent Carson City School District as our educational heroes. I'd like to introduce to you Chris Holland, Business Development Specialist from Greater Nevada Credit Union. He'll explain what we have in store for the heroes. Thank you.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you to the board. Thank you, everybody here. When Casey said, hey, come, we're doing this celebration. This is like a celebration. I wasn't expecting this, so it's amazing to be part of this. Congratulations to all the award winners. I'm going to keep it short too, because I'm here for the fun having. But just know, in this room, there's over 300 Greater Nevadans that support what you do. Keep doing that hard work. It's important and it's needed, and we appreciate you. And I don't know, Dan, can we get the 3 folks to come up? Here's what we're going to do with these 3 community heroes, if you want to announce their names for me real quick.
So yeah, can we get
Leticia, right?
Leticia, Commander, and Cheryl.
That'd be awesome to come up. So we're going to take this recognition to Greater Nevada Field at an ACES game later this season. We're going to give them all a jersey. We're going to put their name on the back of the jersey. And then the Reno Aces are going to recognize you guys at a game later this summer. So congratulations on your award. Thank you for having me. Can I get a quick pic? And look, we didn't know who you were, so I got to take these back and get your name put on the back of them.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you, Chris. Just some closing remarks. congratulations again to everybody here this year, as well as last year and years to come. Thanks for all the support. We certainly have some amazing employees and teachers, and I want to leave us with, let's make it another great year. Thank you. Matt, before you leave, this is still a school board meeting, so I have to turn the time back over to Madam President Crossman. So I'm turning the time back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. This really is our favorite board meeting of the year. We just have a couple things to do. Agenda item 9 is public comment, and Mrs. Cortez has informed me that we received no email public comment. So if there is any public comment at this time, this is the time in which you would do so. And I don't see anybody willing to make public comment, so I will close public comment at this time. We'll go on to agenda item 10, request for future agenda topics. Do we have any? Not at this time. Agenda item 11 is adjournment. We are adjourned. Thank you so much and have a great evening.